One of the most impressive things to watch in all of bartending is the layering of a drink. When you have different ingredients resting neatly on top of each other, creating an array of colors in a glass. In this lesson, we're going to show you how to do that. And trust me, once you master this skill, you are going to go to parties and literally blow people's minds. Let's get started. Guys, today I'm going to teach you about Pousse Cafe drinks. What the hell are Pousse Cafe drinks? I'm talking about layered drinks. That's their proper name. And the reason why you want to know how to make a layered drink is because they're some of the prettiest drinks in all of bartending. Examples would be brain hemorrhage, alien brain hemorrhage, tequila sunrise, the famous rainbow shots, Mai Tais when the bartender floats a layer of rum on top. All those are layered drinks. Now, to understand layered drinks, just think of an oil spill in the ocean. The tanker spills oil and the oil floats on the water. That's right, the water is a liquid, oil is a liquid. However, the water is more dense, so the oil floats on top. And that's the way density works. So how do we apply that in the bartending world? Liquids are more dense when they have a low alcohol content and they're high in sugar. So grenadine, creme de cassis, loaded with sugar, and those often sink to the bottom. Higher the alcohol content, the lower the sugar, those tend to float. Examples would be Bacardi 151, absinthe. They float on top of drinks. That's why the bartender is floating that high proof rum on top of your Mai Tai. So the best tool for layering is a bar spoon. This right here is a jelly bean shot, blue curacao, pineapple juice, cherry vodka. So watch this. I start off with my blue curacao. I don't need to use my spoon because this is just the first layer, so we just put that in there and that's fine. The next ingredient is pineapple juice. I can't just pour my pineapple juice in because it's gonna mix together, so I need something to slow that flow down, to break it up, to spread it out, because I need this liquid to rest on top of that liquid. That's where the bar spoon comes in. So now there are two ways you could do it. You could use the back of the spoon or you could use the front of the spoon. It's totally up to you. Most people use the back, but because it's such a tight glass, I'm gonna just use the front. And I can let it rest right on the liquid that I want it to rest on, and so I could just pour it into the cup of the spoon and just let it flow out. Now there is some mixing taking place, and that's intentional because the sugar content between blue curacao and pineapple juice are pretty close together, and I wanted to create a nice gradient. So there's some mixing and some separation. So another way that you could use a spoon when layering, you don't have to use the front or the back. You could also use the spirals on the spoon. So I could rest this right there in my liquid. I could put this cherry vodka here and just let it run down the spirals. And it's a cool way to show off for your friends as you lay your drink. But Sky, I don't have a bar spoon. Fear not, my son, or my daughter, or my friend, whatever you are, I got you covered. Right here are the ingredients for B52 Bomber, very popular layered shot. So you have coffee liqueur, Irish cream, Grand Marnier. So watch this one. There will be no spoon. Now I can just pour this one straight because why? It's the first layer, it doesn't matter. So now my Irish cream, I'm not using a spoon. What I'm gonna do is I can use the side of the glass, kind of an artificial spoon. We create that nice wide surface area and we just let our liquor run down and just drizzle on top. Some of you going, Sky, no, I don't want to lean my drink to the side. It reminds me of the Leaning Tower of Pisa and I don't like that place. Okay, well, all right. Boy, you're really difficult. Okay, tell you what, grab a cherry and this cherry is gonna act as our spoon, okay? I rest it right on top there. And I want to bring my Grand Marnier nice and close because I want it to drizzle out again. I don't want it to come out fast. Just a nice little drizzle. Some mixings can take place because that's how Grand Marnier is, but it's going to separate eventually. So as you let it sit, the layers will become clearer, okay? You can change the density of a liquid to make it work the way you want it to work when you need to. So this drink right here is called a tropical sunrise. So we start with some ice. So we start off with orange juice. It's a tropical sunrise. Whenever you hear sunrise or sunset in the name of the drink, it usually refers to grenadine that's drizzled in, okay, to create that sunset or sunrise look, that orange, reddish, yellowish look. And so that's what we have going on here. And you notice the grenadine, because it's so dense, it automatically sinks to the bottom. I want the top of this drink to be green, okay? So I have here Midori. Midori is high in sugar, just like this orange juice. If I pour Midori on here, the two of those are just gonna mix and I can get this yellowish greenish drink, which is cool, but that's not what I want. I want it to separate properly. So here's what I do. I'm gonna change the density of Midori. So I put some Midori in here, and now I'm adding more alcohol to it. Remember, the higher the alcohol content, the less dense and more likely it is to float. So I'm getting some vodka in. You could shake this, you could stir it doesn't matter. I can just give it a little stir, just to make sure the two of those properly mixed. And now I'm gonna grab my spoon and just float this Midori right off the top. Beautiful. And that is how you layer shots and drinks. Guys, remember this though, because this is important. There are many brands for each type of liquor. They all have different amounts of sugar in them, so they can behave differently depending on what you're mixing them with. So you need to test the brand that you're working with to make sure it works for you. As always, stay tipsy, okay? And don't hate on the Leaning Tower of Pisa, okay? It's a masterpiece. Later!